what we need to do is the unique property of carbon. Unique property of carbon. Atomic number of carbon is 6. Electronic configuration 2, 4. So carbon has got 4 valence electrons, keeping the structure 4 valence electrons. This 2 is in the first cell, so nothing can be done. So to get the stable electronic configuration for carbon, there are 2 options. To get the stable configuration for carbon, there are 2 options. One, these 4 to be lost. When these 4 are losing it, and it forms which ion? Carbon cation 4 plus charge. Now let us study why this is not taking place. Remember earlier I told you, an atom will lose electron by gaining energy. So imagine this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4. The first electron is lost by absorbing some amount of energy. Then the remaining part of carbon has got 1 positive charge. So that will exert more force of attraction to the rest of the electron. Okay, little bit more energy is given, and this electron is also lost. So therefore, the carbon gets a 2 positive charge. 2 positive charge means the nucleus is having 6 protons. Now it has to attract, because already 2 electrons are there, it has to attract these 2 electrons. So electrons have to be lost, but I told you it needs energy. So 1 electron is lost by absorbing energy. The second electron is to be lost, the energy level is many times more. And if the third electron is also to be lost, then the nucleus will not allow the electrons to be lost. Why? Because the nuclear charge is further getting increased. 6 protons in its nucleus, nuclear atom has got 6 electrons. 1 electron is gone by absorbing some amount of energy, nucleus is gaining 1 positive charge. The second electron is gone by absorbing more and more amount of energy, the nucleus has got 2 positive charge. And how about the third electrons? If the third electron is also to be lost, then the energy needed is much more. Why the energy needed is much more? Because the nucleus is keeping the electron with itself. Nucleus keeps the electron. Are you understanding that? The nucleus is keeping the electron because nucleus is exerting larger and larger force of attraction. So remember, if an atom has to lose electron, it has to lose as many electrons that are present in the valence chain. It has to lose as many electrons that are present in the valence chain. So carbon has to lose, to form a cation, it has to lose 4 electrons. Understood it? And losing 4 is impossible. Why we say impossible? Because energy needed is very, very much more, which nobody gives. So carbon is not going to lose 4 electrons. Have you understood it clearly? It has to lose 4 electrons to form carbon cation with 4 positive charge. And that will not take place because losing of each electron requires energy. 1 electron may be lost by absorbing some amount of energy. Then carbon forms C1 plus. But carbon has to lose how many? 4. Every atom has to lose as many electrons to get the stable configuration. Without that, it cannot be possible. We have studied the principle of chemical bonding. What is that? The participating atom needs to get the stable electronic configuration. That is the nearest inert gas configuration. So carbon cannot lose 4. The nucleus will not allow the carbon to lose the electron. How much amount of energy is given to that carbon? It will not lose. So that is out of the way. Understood it? Now, the second option is the carbon needs to gain 4 electrons. Carbon needs to gain, suppose like carbon's electronic configuration is 4. To get the stable configuration of 4 minus. It has to gain 4 electrons, and when it gains 4 electrons, the topmost of it is having 8 electrons stable. And why this does not take place? Suppose somehow somebody has given carbon 4 electrons. Then this carbon is having now 6 plus 4, 10 electrons overall, and the nucleus is having 6 positive charge. You cannot do anything to the positive charge. The nuclear charge remains the same. So what do you think? if the carbon is going to gain 4 more electrons to become carbon anion, then that electron will have to stay with the carbon. Clear? Electrons, it has taken it and it is gone off. That is not possible. If an atom is going to gain electron, the octet is completed, stable electronic configuration is to be obtained, and that electron will have to stay over there. And electrons are staying there due to the force of attraction exerted by the nucleus. Who keeps the electron with the atom? It is only the nucleus. You know that 9th class you are studying it, the electrons are revolving around in the orbit. They are revolving around the nucleus. Nucleus is a centralized portion and it is revolving around it. And when they revolve around, why don't they move away? Because the nucleus is exerting the force of attraction. Are you understanding that? Like you are studying Einstein, this is a nucleus which is positively charged, which contains proton. The electrons are revolving in this orbit. And when they revolve in this orbit, so why can't they move like this way? Like the projectile, it does not take place. Why? Because the nucleus is holding the electron. The electrons are revolving around this nucleus in this particular orbit because the nucleus exerts the force of attraction. So 6 protons are to attract now 10 electrons. Isn't it? So the protons of the carbon nucleus cannot keep all the extra 4 electrons. Somebody has given carbon 4 electrons, that is another one. Carbon has got 4 electrons, but that 4 electron is to stay over there. But how can it stay there when there is very, very less force of attraction exerted by the nucleus? So, carbon's anion formation is also not possible. So, 2 options I have to explain. Why carbon cation cannot form? The cations of carbon formation does not take place because, remember, every atom to lose electron energy is needed. Carbon has to lose 4 electrons, and to lose 4 electrons, the energy needed is very, very large amount, and the carbon cannot get so much amount of energy. Therefore, carbon will not lose its 4 electrons. Clear that? Then, how can, why don't carbon gain 4 electrons to become carbon anion? Remember, cations are ions which move towards cathode. Again and again, I am telling you. Cathode ion. Cathode is a negative electrode. Towards a negative electrode, only the positive ions will move. So that's what I told you. To form carbon cation, it needs to lose 4 electrons. That is impossible because energy is not available. And nucleus will not allow the energy to be lost. The next one. To carbon form the anion, it needs electron. If somebody has given the electron to the carbon, then that electron is to stay with carbon. And that is possible only by the nucleus force exerted by the nucleus. Now here it becomes completely impartial. How 6 protons to attract 10 electrons. Is it clear? 6 protons, the nuclear charge is still the same. It has to attract 10 electrons, which is rather the force of attraction exerted by the electrons is very less, so electron will not stay there. So carbon anion is also not possible. Understood it? But you know that every molecule exists when it gets a stable configuration. Therefore, the only option left is carbon shares its electron to get the stable configuration for carbon. To get the stable configuration for carbon. To get the stable configuration for carbon. Either it has to lose 4 electrons to form cation. Either it has to lose 4 electrons to form the cation. And losing electrons, energy is needed. For losing electron, energy is needed. Losing electron, energy is needed. To lose 4 electrons, very large amount of energy is needed. To lose 4 electrons, very large amount of energy is needed. Therefore, carbon cannot form cation. C-A-T-I-O-N, cation. Carbon will not form anion also because carbon will not form its anion also. To form the anion, carbon needs 4 electrons. Carbon needs 4 electrons. And even if it forms an anion, of C4 minus, even if it forms an anion of C4 minus, then the nucleus cannot keep ten electrons, then the nucleus cannot keep 10 electrons. Because 6 protons need to attract 10 electrons. So the attraction exerted by the nucleus to the electrons is very less. So the electron cannot be held together. So therefore, carbon cannot form anion. The two concepts are clear. It doesn't form cation, it doesn't form anion. Then what it forms? Completed. Therefore, to get the stable electronic configuration, carbon forms covalent bond with other elements. Carbon forms covalent bond with other elements. We had studied covalent bonding yesterday. So, to get this, as far as carbon is concerned, losing 4 is impossible, gaining 4 is impossible. Therefore, it has to get the stable configuration, and that is obtained by sharing the electrons. Understood it clearly? I did explain how the sharing takes place yesterday, as in this case of methane. Now, understanding once again, I'll explain that. CH4, or let's say the next compound, what I will say that carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. Carbon has got 4 valence electrons in the orbit, valence shell. Chlorine is having 7 electrons. 7. So they share an electron with this one. The next chlorine is also same modality is going on. Then it goes this way. The next one. Sharing is this. The sharing takes place as I told you. If the chlorine shares the electron of carbon, the carbon need to share the electron. So carbon will be sharing the electrons like this way. So each of these elements are class for octet configuration, the electron string configuration. Therefore, we can write it as this way: carbon, single bond with chlorine, single bond with chlorine, and in this method, carbon tetrachloride is formed. Understood it? So carbon has got the stable configuration, chlorine is also got the stable configuration by sharing the electron. This is how covalent bond with carbon is formed. Clear? So the structure CCl4. Carbon, once again, so you have understood carbon has got 4 valence electron. Chlorine is having 7 valence electron. Each chlorine has got 7. So chlorine needs 1 electron to complete the opposite shares it. That's it. It shares the electron. Sharing the electron is taking place, and since chlorine has shares electron with carbon, carbon also shares its electron with chlorine. So the structure form is, and this is CCl4. That means carbon forms single covalent bond with 4 chlorine atoms. Or in other words, if number of bonds in CCl4 is asked, what do we say? 4 single covalent bond with each chlorine atom. Understood? Carbon forms single covalent with 4 chlorine atoms. That is how CCl4 or carbon tetrachloride is formed. And this is how carbon forms a compound. Understood it? Next, write down, that is covalent bonding with carbon concept is over. Okay, next. So we are going to take a new thing. Write down, compounds are classified into two. Compounds are classified into two: inorganic and organic compounds. Compounds are classified into two: inorganic and organic compound. Inorganic and organic. Now, organic compounds are classified as, organic compounds are defined as hydrocarbons and their derivatives. Organic compounds are defined as hydrocarbons and their derivatives, or the compounds formed between, carbon, hydrogen. The compounds that are formed between carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. That is what I told you, hydrocarbons. Along with oxygen, chlorine, or any other element. Normally, we define it as hydrocarbons and the derivatives. Say, for example, hydrocarbon, the simplest hydrocarbon is CH4, methane. It is a compound of carbon and hydrogen. And from that methane, if one hydrogen is removed by chlorine, then what do we get? It is a compound of carbon, hydrogen, hydrocarbon with chlorine. That's what I told you, derivatives. The compounds which are derived from the hydrocarbon. And they make the organic compounds. Understood it clearly? And carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements, and rest of the compounds that are formed are called inorganic compounds. You know, basically the definition, the organic has come like this way. The chemistry of the compounds which are obtained from organisms, whether it is plants or animals, living or dead, the Compounds obtained from organisms are called organic compounds, and their study is known as organic chemistry. And the compounds which are not obtained from organism is inorganic compounds, and their study is inorganic chemistry. Basically, therefore, the chemistry part is split into two: inorganic chemistry and organic chemistry. And what is organic chemistry? The compounds which are derived from organisms and their study. And that study is known as, what can we say that as? Organic chemistry. The study of organic compounds is known as organic chemistry. And why it is made as a separate branch of chemistry? First reason, why organic chemistry is taken as a separate branch of chemistry. First reason, organic compounds are very large in number. Organic compounds are very, very large in number. Second, they have unique preparation and properties. Organic compounds are very, very large in number. And second, they have got unique method of preparation and property. Organic compounds preparation and properties are entirely different. They are very, very large in number. Organic compounds are extremely large in number. So imagine if you take, say for example, sodium is taken. The number of compounds of sodium that can be formed is limited. Sodium chloride, hydrate, bromide, sulfate, carbonate, etc., etc. It may come to 10, 20, 15, not more than that. Whereas, if you consider only two elements, carbon and hydrogen, say for example, when sodium combines with chlorine, we get only one compound, that is sodium chloride, NaCl. And if carbon combines with hydrogen, we can get infinite, very, very large number of compounds, like methane, CH4, ethane, propane. So when carbon is going to combine with an element, hydrogen, don't think that only one compound is formed. It will be forming number of compounds. And that is why organic compounds are extremely large in number. And inorganic compounds are limited. Understood it? If, for example, what I told you, if magnesium is combining with oxygen, or if sodium combines with hydrogen, we get only one compound, sodium hydride, NaH, only one compound. All these highly reactive metals, remember hydrogen is electropositive, sodium is also electropositive. Hydrogen is, sodium gives this electron to hydrogen forcefully. It transfers, that is why NaH is formed, it's an ionic compound. Understood it clearly? Only one compound. Whereas if carbon and hydrogen are taken, we get infinite number of compounds. And that's the reason why organic compounds are extremely large in number.